Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my top 16 deck profile from the road to YCS. I played Rikka Sunavalon. The deck is absolutely cracked. I think that it's actually a really good choice. And I think behind the hands of a good pilot, not saying I am, but behind the hands of a good pilot, I think this deck could go really far. I do want to give a couple shoutouts before we get into the profile. I first of all want to shout out my wife Emily for sticking with me throughout the whole event. Obviously, these are 10-hour events, and then even some more on Sunday was crazy, but she was super great, ordered me food the whole time, and was just super good support. So huge shout outs to her for one. Second shout out I do want to give is to my boy Josiah, who's been helping me on this list for so long, for 3 years. We've been labbing this deck since before Strenna's release. So before Cone, before Princess, before Strenna, this deck was still one of our favorite decks. So he's been with me throughout the whole time, and I do want to give a huge shout out to him. Last shout out I want to give is to Sunsea Jess, who has been a super good contributor to the Rikka community in general. I think that bringing this deck and just showing that it's not actually just a pet deck, that it's actually a deck that is really good to compete, is super great, super awesome. So huge shout out to Sunsea Jess. Other shout outs I want to give to my boy Joshua, who was messaging me throughout the whole entire event, hyping me up, being super great, giving me the energy I needed. So I did want to shout him out. I also want to shout out Joey Chow for being able to make it to top 32 with me. We are both in the Utah community, so super great. Shout outs to him. He's super cool. Does a shop here. I don't know if I have a link or anything, but if I do, I'll put it in the description. But he's super great. Other shout outs to the entire Utah Yu-Gi-Oh community. You guys are just awesome. Couldn't have done it without all of you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the profile. 3 copies of Rikka Petal. Card is insane. It's a Rikka deck, obviously. 3 Loci, and then the 1 Lone Fire. Lone Fire is there to bridge you between the Sunavalon portion of the engine, through Jasmine. It also gets your Regulus live because you contribute the Lily. It's super good. 3 Princess. Card is super cracked. Being an extender and interrupt, this is just literally everything the deck needs. Hand trap, extender, interrupt, it's broken. It's absolutely insane. 2 copies of Mudon. Probably should have played 3, but I'm still a little iffy on it. The reason that you probably should is because if your Dryas gets interrupted, you can actually just use this and just act like the imperm on your Dryas does nothing. So you can just play nothing happened and still end on the Strenna and everything like that. It's just super cracked. So yeah, Mudon is actually just broken. Primula, Snowdrop, Twin, don't need to explain these. Do not play more than one of each of them. If you do, just please don't. Just cut them, please do not. 2 copies of Lily. I'm trying to decide between playing 1, 2, and 3 of this. You obviously need 1 for the combo, but the idea with playing 2 is that you can use Glamour to search this and Snowdrop. So for your normal combo, you can have this as an interrupt and then have this for follow-up. And then if they crack your whole board, then you can activate the Lily and then attach the Regulus, and now it has a negate. So on the follow-up, you can have a negate. It didn't come up today, but that was the thought process I went through. I think that it has some merit to it, but I don't know for sure. A lot of times, if I got even laid, this was just banish face down. Obviously, if they booked this or something and then even lead me in. Obviously this is just naturally negates evenly, but anyways, yeah, I think playing 2 is probably the move for right now, but it could change. 3 copies of Ash was the last monster in the deck. Next we're on 3 copies of Unexpected Die. Best card in the deck by far. 3 copies of Glamour, 3 copies of Cone. Card is actually just super cracked as well. You could just threaten boards by just activating Cone, and then they have to interrupt this, or they lose their board, or it threatens their board rather, because if you have Glamour, Mudon, Snowdrop, it just tributes one of their guys for cost, and they have no chance of interacting with it, which is super good. 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More in the main. This was really bad in Swiss rounds, but really good in Top Cut, so I'm not really sure if I do want to cut it or not. I'm honestly thinking of just playing Thrust with a couple of extra targets for it. So I think that that's probably the move going forward, but we'll have to see. 2 copies of Sewing. Funnily enough, this actually is a like 1-card combo if you wait a turn. I found that out during the tournament. Also, my camera froze. I think we're good now. Sewing summons Lokai, you link into Dryas, search the second one, and then on your next turn, you can activate this, summon Twin, and then do your full combo. Came up one time when both me and my opponent bricked, but I had the Sewing, so it was really funny. Won me the game, actually. 2 copies of Talents, the 1 copy of Call By. Don't really need to explain this. They're obviously goated. 1 copy of Coliseum, search Regulus for the most part. Sometimes you do search the Lily, though. Duster, this was really bad. I did only see it going first, I believe, so it didn't really have a chance going second. Probably should have just been the 3rd copy of Talents or something, so probably should just dump in that. 3 copies of Imperm and the 1 copy of Sheet. That rounds off the list. Moving on into extra deck, we are on the 3 copies of Dryas, the 2 copies of Healer, the 1 Thrasher. Came up once, it was super good. Probably shouldn't cut this card. The card is great. If you do want to cut it for whatever reason, play the 3rd Strena. 1 copy of Melius, 1 copy of Bangalancer, 1 Dance Peony, 2 copies of Jasmine. There is something to mention here is that I didn't really do the 2 Jasmine combo throughout the event where you search. I did it one time actually, but the reason that I don't like doing it is because like I feel like you run out of Strenas because you make both your Strenas. So I don't feel like it's worth it to do it turn 1. I feel like it's worth it to keep this in the extra deck and then just do like the normal combo. And then like have a Jasmine, some Sunavalon links, and like the Strena left over so you can like still do combos on your follow-up turn. I think that is like an important thing to know. But yeah, super good still. Obviously 2 copies of Strena, sorry. 1 Tree Beast and 1 Teardrop the Rikka Queen. And then for zone blockers, we played these for the Kashtira matchup. I just wanted to show these because I made them and they were super cool. Moving on to the side deck, we are on 3 copies of Go Spell, which I don't think I activated once the whole event. I did side it in a couple times, and like in theory, it's like really, really good against like Fountain to like negate the draws or like a bunch of stuff, especially in like the Branded matchup. Like there's a lot of applications for this card. I didn't play against Branded for one, but I did use this once. I stopped a Bestial once actually, so I did actually activate it one time. So. But yeah, overall, I think the card's just kind of mid, but I probably should have played Duel over this, which is really funny because a couple of weeks ago I was saying I shouldn't have played Duel, I should have played this. So I'm running back and forth between them, but Dragon Link's getting popular, so I think that Duel might actually be the way to go from now on. 3 copies of Nibiru. Card was actually pretty good. Just like activate this and then like chain Nib, negate their board. Like, I don't know, it just seems like a pretty good play actually. That's actually what I did against Shinping in my top 32. Won me the match. Super nice. 1 Orchid, 1 Cosmic, 1 Pinkertops. One of these cards should be Rose Whip. I would say probably pink, but also it could just be the Cosmic. I would say one of these should definitely just be Rose Whip though. And then more back row removal, we got the 3 copies of Evenly Matched. And to round off the side deck, we are on the 3 copies of Polynosis. You could also play the Spiritual Water Art. I cannot say that word, but the one that rips a card out of their hand. It's settable off of Thrust, which is pretty good. And the thing that I think that makes this better is that you can tribute like Sunavalon stuff if you get interrupted. So like you can still have like negates on their field. Like even if like your only one starter gets interrupted, then like you can still like have something. Whereas the water art, you have to tribute specifically a water monster. So I feel like this might be just a little bit better. Also because like you can Sheet take their monster, then Polynosis tribute the monster you take with Sheet because it becomes a plant monster to negate something. And that could be like also relevant. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'm not sure which one I should play over the other one. Right now I'm on Polynosis, but it could change. It could even just be Judgment by the time like another event comes around. I wrote down my matchups. I'll go through them really quickly. So for the decks I played against, I'll just run through it. So I went against Pirelli. I lost the die, but I won the match 2-1. Kashtira, I played against Enzo. I lost this one. It was 1 win. I won once. He won twice, obviously. I lost the die roll in that one. It was to Enzo. I don't know if I mentioned that, but all of the people I lost to ended up making top 32, which really helped my tiebreakers. Round 3, I went against Runic Plunder Patrol, which I won the die roll and got a 2-0 win. Round 4, I went against Dinosaur. I won the die roll and got a 2-1 win. I do want to mention something with this matchup too. No hate to this guy, but like, please, 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 if you're going to join a remote duel event, like, please get like a decent enough microphone that we can understand you. His microphone was cutting in and out the whole time, and it was really hard to understand him. So please, please, no hate to you. I have no ill will against you, but like, please get a good microphone before you join a remote event. Round 5, I went against Mathmic. I won the die roll and got a 2 win, which was really good. Round 6, I feel awful for this matchup. I went against Synchro Bistro Sprite, I think. Honestly, I don't really know because both games he bricked, and yeah, so I lost the die roll, but I got a 2-0 win because he bricked and I just drew unexpected die both games. So I had no idea what he was on until the end of the match, which was really funny. Round 7, I went against Kashtira, which is my friend Joshua Kippenberg. I have a curse against him where I cannot win a single match against him. However, I broke that curse today. I won the die roll and got a 2-0 win, which is super good. He shivered me both games and I still was able to get it, which is super cool. Round 8, I went against Furhire Runic Sprites. I won the die roll, but I lost the match 1-2. I had a really weird hand, basically. In game 3, he ended up just gaining life points in time, which was a little unfortunate for me. Round 9, I went against Dragon Link. I won the die roll and I won the game 2-0. Pretty good. Top 32, I went against Shinping Zhu. I lost the die roll, but I won the match 2-1. I have a curse against him as well. Every single time I played him in a regional, I've lost, but this time I also broke the curse, which is super hype. So shout out to Shinping. I think that he probably did deserve the win over me, but I was able to pull it through. So went into top 16. I lost against Flunder. Unfortunately, it was just a clean sweep on his end. The cards just kind of outpaced me just because like my combos were a little bit weird. Because he went first and I had to break the board and then also establish mine. It was just really awkward. And then game 2, he ashed my only starter, so I was still able to end on like Konko, Strena, Sheet, Princess Engrave, but his cards were just better than mine, basically. So I ended up losing that match. Also, he played Offerings to the Doomed, which is a really interesting tech. But yeah, so that was my entire journey. That was it. 8 wins, 3 losses. So my losses were once again to Kashtira, which was Enzo, and I lost against Shadal. Oh no, sorry, not Shadal Tournament. I won that one. I lost against Flunder, and I lost against Furhire Runic Sprite. Those were my losses. So yeah, that's about it. If you have questions, please don't feel free to ask them in the comments. I'll be answering everything. Yeah, with all that said, I will hopefully see you guys probably at Nationals. Hopefully I'll get a top there. We'll see for sure. Thanks for watching, guys.